Hey, welcome to Feel Your Best Nutrition. I'm Natalie Brown, and this is Synergy Nutrition and Lifestyle. So find a quiet spot, turn off your phone, close all your tabs in your email, grab a notepad and a pen, because this is going to be some really awesome information that you're going to want to keep for the future, especially if you're trying to live a better lifestyle and know what foods to incorporate into your daily routine. So Hippocrates once said, "Let thy food be thy medicine, and thy medicine be thy food." Very, very wise man. I agree wholeheartedly. The food you eat plays a vital role in keeping your body vital and healthy. If you eat the right food, that is. Now, I'm not saying that every single meal has to be 100% healthy. I'm okay with that. It's fine. Indulge from time to time, as long as you don't overdo it. When planning healthy meals, why not pick foods that are packed with flavor, nutrients, and ingredients that nourish and heal your bodies? Do you ever feel like you're trying so hard to eat healthier, but are bombarded by all this information that is hard to decipher what is true, what is false, trying fad diet after fad diet, only to end up in the worst place than you started, frustrated and confused? Well, that was me when I first dove into the nutrition world. I bounced from diet to diet to diet and trying many different types of supplements, which all claim to be a miracle drug for weight loss and to feel your best. This left me frustrated and unhappy with my body and confused about what the right way was. Have you ever been there, or are you there currently? Well, I am here to tell you that there's no special diet or quick fix supplement when it comes to overall health. It is a lifestyle. Health is ongoing and every day. If you inhale this information that I'm about to give you, if you absorb it, then you will be on your way to discovering what it takes to create that healthy lifestyle and to finally feel your best and live your best life. So with that being said, I say welcome. I am so happy that you are here and for choosing to make this lifestyle change. So by the end of this training, you should know the 12 things that you need to include in your daily routine in order to feel your best and live your best life. So let's just go ahead and dive right on in and get started. The first thing is beans. Beans, they truly are a magical fruit. You have black beans, pinto beans, lentils, soybeans, chickpeas, white beans, kidney beans. There are so many legumes to take advantage of. They are a magical fruit and have been found to be the most important predictor of survival in older people around the world. Whether it is Japanese eating soy products, the Swedes eating brown rice and peas, or those Mediterranean region eating lentils, chickpeas, and white beans, legume consumption has been consistently associated with a longer lifespan. Researchers found an 8% reduction in risk of premature death for every 20-gram increase in daily legume intake. That's barely 2 tablespoons worth. Beans are basically the fountain of youth. Did you know that legumes are actually placed in both the protein and the vegetable group in the federal government's My Plate campaign? They are loaded with protein, iron, and zinc, as you might expect from other protein sources like meat, but legumes also contain nutrients that are concentrated in the vegetable kingdom, included fiber, folate, and potassium. If that wasn't enough, they are naturally low in saturated fat and sodium and free of cholesterol. The most comprehensive analysis of diet and cancer ever performed was published in 2007 by the American Institute of Cancer Research. One of their summary cancer prevention recommendations is to eat legumes, so beans, split peas, chickpeas, or even lentils, every single meal. That's how powerful this food is. So let's dive a little deeper into some specific superfood legumes and how to prepare them. So soybeans. Americans are actually most comfortable incorporating soy into their breakfasts. Soy milk, for instance, has turned into a multi-million-dollar business. But soy milk and tofu are actually pretty processed foods. When it comes to nutrients, fiber, iron, magnesium, potassium, protein, and zinc, about half are lost when soybeans are converted into tofu. However, beans are so healthy that you can throw away half of the nutrition and still have a really healthy food. Even better than tofu would be the whole soy food like tempeh. You can actually see all the little soybeans in it. It's right here. A really great way to eat tempeh is to slice it up, drudge it in some flax egg. I'll go into flax egg a little later, and breadcrumbs, and season it really well. Then bake it until it's golden brown, then dip it into some buffalo hot sauce, and you have a super healthy version of chicken wings. It is so delicious. When you get a chance, I highly recommend you try that version of chicken wings. Another one is miso. Miso is a fermented whole soy food. It's a thick paste that is commonly mixed with hot water to make a delicious soup that's a staple in Japanese cuisine. Miso soup. Miso soup is actually very easy to make. If you take white miso, which is what I would recommend, it's much mellower than red miso. Basically, you just take 1 tablespoon of miso and mix it with 2 cups of hot water. And then you put in whatever vegetables you're wanting to include in it. And that's it. You have yourself a really delicious, high protein soup. So I get a lot of questions about the sodium in miso soup. Miso is actually pretty high in sodium. So what about the people who have been told to avoid sodium by their doctors due to their high blood pressure or cancer or whatever? No worries, because the salt in the miso, which may push your blood pressure up, the protein in the miso actually lowers it back down. Studies have actually shown that the benefits of soy in miso far outweigh the harmful effects of the salt content in miso. So, if you are interested in taking advantage of this delicious and nutritious soup, despite having problems with your blood pressure, just go ahead and take advantage of it, because it's not going to increase your blood pressure because of the sodium. Okay. Finally, one of my favorite snacks is edamame, is that last picture here. Edamame is about as whole a soy food as you can get. These are soybeans that are still in the pod. You can buy them frozen and just throw them into a pot of boiling water for a quick, easy, and healthy snack. Lentils. Lentils are indeed a superfood, okay? But why? In 1982, they were discovered to blunt the sugar spike of foods consumed hours later at a subsequent meal. Lentils are a feast for your friendly flora. This friendly flora relaxes your stomach and slows the rate at which sugars are absorbed into your system. Another really great way to take advantage of these little lentils is by sprouting them. So you actually double, sometimes even triple the antioxidant power when you sprout them. Basically, you put these little bad boys in, you submerge them in water for 24 hours, then you rinse them and then drain them and then rinse them again. For the next 2 to 3 days, you're gonna rinse them twice a day and drain them. And then at the 2-day, 3-day mark, you'll see that those little sprouts have come out. And you can actually just cook them as usual, throw them on top of a salad. I like to just throw them into a smoothie. It's very, very easy. Okay, so some other stuff to know about lentils. I often get asked, are canned beans as healthy as home-cooked beans? Yes, canned beans are indeed as healthy as home-cooked beans. The only thing that you have to be aware of is the sodium. Salt is often added to canned beans. Draining and rinsing your canned beans can remove about half of the added salt, but then you would also be rinsing away some of the nutrition. I recommend purchasing a no salt added varieties and cooking with the bean liquid in whatever dish you're whipping up. For example, when I cook hummus using chickpeas, I often put in the liquid that it comes in as well, so that I can actually get some of that nutrition. Okay, the next question I often get about beans is gas. So let's actually talk about flatulence for a little bit. Americans report passing gas more than 14 times a day, with the normal range going up to 23 times a day. That's a lot of gas, and we probably don't even know that we're doing it. But flatulence can actually only come from two places: swallowed air and the fermentation in the bowel. Factors that might cause you to swallow air include chewing gum, wearing ill-fitting dentures, sucking on hard candies, drinking through a straw, eating too fast, talking while you eat, and smoking cigarettes. But the main source of gas is the normal bacterial fermentation in the colon of undigested sugars. Dairy products are actually the leading cause of excess flatulence, which is due to the poor digestion of milk, sugar, lactose. Our bodies are not built to properly digest milk, sugar, lactose, which is why so many people have an allergy to milk, which is one of the reasons why I recommend staying away from dairy products. But most people bulking up on high fiber plant foods do not appear to significantly increased problems with gas, which is amazing. Now, odor is a separate issue. The smell appears to come primarily from the digestion of sulfur-rich foods. So to cut down on the stench, I highly recommend cutting back on such foods as meat and eggs. So how much of beans should you have? You should have 3 servings a day. So what are the serving sizes? Serving sizes, oops, I went too far, is 1/4 cup of hummus or bean dip, or half a cup of cooked beans, split peas, lentils, tofu, or tempeh, or 1 cup of fresh peas or sprouted lentils. So summary, why eat beans? Eating legumes could help you lose weight and keep it off. Phytates are a natural occurring compound found in plant foods and has been shown to reduce the risk of stroke, depression, and colon cancer. And legumes are actually packed with phytates, along with fiber, folate, as well as protein, iron, zinc, and potassium. It's been shown to lower your high blood pressure, improve the regulation of blood sugar, improves insulin levels. Also, the phytoestrogens in soy specifically has been shown to prevent breast cancer and improve breast cancer survival. Not only that, but they're easy to prepare and they're super cost effective. So why not take advantage? Okay, next is berries. Man, there's so many types of berries: blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, cranberries. The list is so long. Berries offer protection against cancer, a boost to the immune system, and a guard for the liver and brain. Yes, they taste great and they can help you live longer. That's what plant-based eating is all about: eating things that are delicious and uh, at the same time helping improve your health. Of all the fruits, berries are actually by far the healthiest, in part due to their respective plant pigments. Greens contain chlorophyll, which sets off the firestorm or of photosynthesis. So the antioxidants are able to take care of all of the oxidative damage done in the body on a daily basis. Berries have similar characteristics, with its vibrant colors accounting for its antioxidant ability. Berries are second only to herbs and spices as the most antioxidant-packed food category. They average nearly 10 times more antioxidants than the other fruits and vegetables, and more than 50 times more than animal products. So let's review antioxidants for a second. Antioxidants are what tackle the free radicals in your body, which are caused by oxidative stress, bodily functions such as turning food to energy, dealing with pollution, mental stress, common cold, even exercise. You have to constantly be building up your antioxidant stores in your body so that you are more able to handle all the oxidative stress you deal with on a daily basis. If the free radicals build up due to you not taking in antioxidant rich foods every day, your body will break down fast. This causes signs of aging like wrinkles, loss of memory, and breakdown of organs. No good. So let's go over how many antioxidants are in our favorite berries. But first, as a baseline, let's see the antioxidant power of the most common fruits in the United States, apples and bananas. So apples sit at 16 units and bananas are 40 units of antioxidants. Okay, now what about another common fruit that is not a berry? Mangoes. Mangoes are actually the most common fruit outside of the United States. It comes in at 110 units. But none of the fruits are a match for berries. Strawberries weigh in at 310, cranberries 330, raspberries 350, blueberries 380, and blackberries are a whopping 650 units. Now let's talk about tart cherries for a second. Tart cherries are actually super anti-inflammatory, and they have been known to help with treatment for gout, which is a disease that is inflammation of the body. Tart cherries are a very, very affordable way to treat gout. They also naturally contain melatonin, which has been shown to improve your sleep. Goji berries have the highest concentration of melatonin, more than tart cherries, to improve those that are struggling with sleep. Also, of all the dried fruit, it has the third highest concentration of antioxidants, 5 times more than raisins, and second only to dried pomegranate seeds and barberries. Gojis also have a specific antioxidant pigment that makes corn yellow, zeaxanthin. When eaten, zeaxanthin is shuttled into your retinas, which is the back of your eyes, and appears to protect against macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss. This is 15 times more than eggs. Goji berries are also fat soluble. So if you want to improve the absorption of zeaxanthin, you can eat goji berries with nuts and seeds. Trail mix is a great snack. So I highly recommend you grab some nuts and pair them up with these superfood goji berries, and you just have a high antioxidant, high healthy fat snack. Okay. Now these goji berries can tend to be pretty expensive in natural food stores. They can go for $20 a pound. But if you go to Asian supermarkets, you can buy them as lithium berries, and they're even cheaper than raisins. So that's the route that I highly recommend you take. Okay, so anthocyanin pigments are responsible for many of the intense blue, black, purple, and red colors of berries and other fruits and veggies. This pigment has been shown to improve symptoms of computer eye strain. Okay, so there are the most common stuff that I hear about berries and pretty much fruit in general is, what about the sugar? There's a few popular diets out there that urge people to stop eating fruits because of natural sugars or fructose. They're thought to contribute to weight gain. The truth is, only fructose from added sugars appears to be associated with declining liver function, high blood pressure, and weight gain. But how? Well, in nature, fructose comes prepackaged with fiber, antioxidants, and phytonutrients that appear to nullify adverse fructose effects. Consuming sugar in fruit form is not only harmless, but actually helpful. Eating berries can blunt the insulin spike from high glycemic foods like white bread, for example. This may be because the fiber in the fruit has a gelling effect in the stomach and small intestines that slows the release of sugars and certain phytonutrients in fruit that appear to block the absorption of sugar through the gut wall and into your bloodstream. So, eating fructose the way nature intended carries benefits rather than risks. Another thing that I get asked often is, are frozen berries as nutritious as fresh ones? Yes, studies actually suggest that most of the nutrition is retained for the berries even when they're frozen. So take advantage of it. You can add it to smoothies. You can even freeze your favorite berries and make ice cream. Very, very delicious way to get your daily serving of berries. Speaking of serving, the daily recommendation for berries is 1 serving a day. That's it, half a cup of fresh or frozen, or a 4th cup of dried. Okay, so why eat berries? Berries in all their colorful, sweet, and flavorful glory are protective little antioxidant powerhouses. The issue shouldn't be how you're going to get your 1 minimum daily serving, but rather how you're going to pry yourself away from them. You can put them in your smoothies, in your dessert. They're amazing with salads, or you can just eat them raw as a snack by themselves. So enjoy these to your heart content and reap the benefits. So let's talk about other fruits. So all other fruit other than berries, like your apples, your apricots, avocados. Yes, avocados are a fruit. Bananas, cantaloupe, clementines, kiwis, papayas, pomegranates. I can go on and on. There's so many different types of fruit. Okay, so let's talk about fruit for a little bit. Okay, so a lot of people really like their juice, but I wanted to talk about juice for just a second. If you like drinking your fruit, I would actually recommend blending it in a smoothie instead of juicing it, or buying it from the store. Juicing removes more than just fiber. Most of the polyphenol phytonutrients in fruits and veggies appear to be bound to the fiber and are only liberated for absorption by the friendly flora in your gut. When you merely drink juice, you lose out on the fiber and all the nutrition that was attached to it. Okay, so I highly recommend you eat the whole thing or blend it in a smoothie. So I wanted to go over some some fruit specifically, because some of them stand out more than others. Okay, so apples. The apple is the ultimate convenient food, and it is true that an apple a day will keep the doctor away. Okay, all the antioxidant properties are found in the apple peel. Okay, this makes sense since the fruit's first defense against the outside world is the peel. As soon as you slice or bite into an apple, it immediately starts to oxidize and turn brown. The peel has more than 2 to 6 times more antioxidant power than the pulp, which is why it is so important to eat apples versus just drinking them. Okay, so eating apples has been associated with lower risk of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, laryngeal cancer, and colorectal cancer. And it has been shown to suppress the growth of breast cancer cells. So eat at least 1 to 3 apples every single day. If you want to make this your 3 servings of fruit for the day, by all means, you will benefit from it. Okay, kiwi. Kiwi is great for those who suffer with insomnia. 2 kiwis an hour before bed has been shown to improve sleep onset, duration, and efficiency. 2 kiwis a day also seems to improve the symptoms associated with irritable bowel syndrome. Kiwi seems like a way better option than the leading IBS drug, which was actually pulled from the market due to it killing too many people. Yeah, no thanks. Kiwi also helps reduce the risk of getting sick. And when you do get sick, it lessens the amount of time spent sick. So I don't know about you guys, but sign me up. 1 apple a day and 1 kiwi a day to keep the doctor away. I love it. Okay, let's talk about citrus. Citrus zest is amazing for repairing your DNA. Did you know that your DNA, on average, takes damage about 800 times an hour. If this damage is not repaired by the food we eat, this can cause mutations that give rise to cancer. Citrus is one of those foods that has been shown to repair damaged DNA and also protects it from further damage. Within 2 hours of consuming citrus fruit, your DNA becomes significantly more resistant to damage. These citrus compounds that have been found to be most beneficial are actually found in the peel. Surprise, surprise. So, when you have the opportunity, I recommend zesting the lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit whenever you can. Add it to your salad, your main dishes. They're amazing in dressings. Pretty much anything you can think of to get that extra boost of nutrition. Don't waste the peel. A word of caution though about grapefruit, it does reduce the clearing of prescribed drugs in the body. So what does that mean? Less reduction of drugs means that there are more drugs in your bloodstream, which could lead to more side effects and you basically being more drugged up. Okay, dried fruit. This is a great way to get your other fruit serving. It's great for people that are on the go. You don't have time to pack something fresh. This is really, really good. But a word of caution, the food industry likes to add sugar to the dried fruit simply because they like to add weight. It makes it way more. Also, there are also dried fruit that contains sulfur dioxide as a preservative agent. This can lead to hydrogen sulfide to form in your gut. This can lead to a rotten egg smelling gas, which is a sign of an inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis. So make sure you purchase unsulfured varieties of dry fruit, or you can just make your own. They have some really affordable dehydrators on Amazon now. You can just make your own dried fruit and pack it on the go. And for traveling, hiking trips, it's a very, very convenient way to get in your fruit. Okay, how much to eat? So 3 servings per day. That's 1 medium-sized fruit, 1 cup of cut up fruit, or a 4th cup of dried fruit. Okay, summary, why eat other fruit? The power of the peel on the fruit, other than berries, has been shown to improve immune function and prevent and reduce cancer. It enhances your sleep, and also get a variety of different fruits. Don't eat the same fruit every day unless it's the only reason why you're able to get fruit. Try to get all of them in on a weekly basis. They each have their unique set of nutritional benefits. Okay, let's move on. Cruciferous vegetables, probably one of the most important food groups that you can get in. The amazing cruciferous veggie group is so beneficial to your health in so many ways. To name a few, cruciferous veggies like broccoli can potentially prevent DNA damage and metastatic cancer spread, active defenses against pathogens and pollutants, help to prevent lymphoma, boost your liver detox enzymes, and target breast cancer stem cells, and reduce the risk of prostate cancer progression. Holy cow, that's a lot. And that's not even all of it. So how do these veggies have this power to heal? There is a compound in these cruciferous vegetables called sulforaphane. Beyond being a promising anti-cancer agent, sulforaphane may also help protect your brain and eyesight, reduce nasal allergy inflammation, manage type 2 diabetes, and was recently found to successfully help treat autism. A placebo-controlled double-blind randomized trial of boys with autism found that about 2 to 3 cruciferous vegetable servings worth of sulforaphane a day improved social interaction, abnormal behavior, and verbal communication within a matter of weeks. That is amazing. So what are some strategies to enhance sulforaphane? Because it can be lost through cooking, okay? So The activation of sulforaphane requires the enzyme myrosinase, but myrosinase is lost through cooking. But who wants to eat raw Brussels sprouts anyways? Not many people. Thankfully, there are a few ways to get the benefits of raw vegetables in cooked form. So I'm going to talk a little science for you. So just bear with me, and uh, eating broccoli and cruciferous will all make more sense, and you'll be able to get the most out of the nutrition. Okay, so when you bite into a broccoli, it's like snapping that chemical flare. When raw broccoli, or any other cruciferous veggie for that matter, is chopped or chewed, the sulforaphane precursor mixes with myrosinase enzyme. And sulforaphane is created as the veggie sits on the cutting board or lies in the upper stomach waiting to be digested. Though the enzyme is destroyed by cooking, both the precursor and the final product are resistant to heat. So here's the first trick. Use the hack and hold technique. If you chop the broccoli or Brussels or whatever crucifer you want to use, and then wait 40 minutes, you can cook it as much as you want. At that point, the sulforaphane has already been made, so the enzyme is no longer needed to achieve maximum benefits. It has already done its job. But what about frozen or boiled crucifers? Commercially produced frozen broccoli lacks the ability to form sulforaphane because the vegetables are blanched before they're frozen for the very purpose of deactivating enzymes, which prolongs shelf life. When you take the veggies out of the freezer, the enzyme is inert. At that point, it doesn't matter how long you wait, no sulforaphane is going to be made. The frozen veggie is, however, still packed with the precursor. Remember, it's heat resistant. So you could make lost for sulforaphane by adding back some enzyme. But where can you get myrosinase? Easy, at your local grocery store. Mustard greens are also cruciferous vegetables. They grow from mustard seeds, which you can buy as mustard powder. If you sprinkle mustard powder on frozen broccoli that's been cooked, it will start churning out sulforaphane. That's so awesome. So if you don't have time to wait 40 minutes between chopping and cooking, or you would prefer to buy frozen veggies, just sprinkle the crucifers with some mustard powder before you eat them. Another way to get that sulforaphane back is by adding some raw crucifers to cooked crucifers to reactivate sulforaphane. So if you cook say Brussels sprouts, because that's a really good one that's delicious roasted, you can add some raw daikon radishes, or maybe regular radishes. Some horseradish is a great way to go, or wasabi. And it only takes a pinch of to revitalize the sulforaphane production. So just sprinkle on just a little bit of that mustard or that raw crucifer. So what are some other ways to enjoy cruciferous vegetables to enhance your health? So horseradish is the most concentrated version of cruciferous vegetables. You only need 1 tablespoon a day to get your full serving of your cruciferous vegetables. Horseradish can be made into a sauce, relish, or dressing. It's also just great in mashed potatoes, or for even healthier option, mashed cauliflower. So you can get double your serving of crucifers. Okay, so take advantage of horseradish if you really like that taste. Another thing to do is roasted crucifers. Super delicious. Often very popular way is roasting your crucifers, like your cauliflower or broccoli. Just put them in the oven for about 30 minutes. It's super nutty, caramelized flavor. It's so delicious. One of my favorite ways to eat it is to smother them in a lemon tahini sauce. Oh my God, it's so good. Also, another really awesome thing to do is to make kale chips, and it's so easy. One, if you have that dehydrated that I talked to you about, you can just pop those in there and dehydrate them. But for an even quicker snack, you can pop them in the oven at 250 for about 20 minutes and season them however you want, and you have a delicious, super easy snack, okay? Also, another quick way to get your cruciferous veggies in is to just simply garnish your dishes with with a raw cruciferous. So you have red cabbage and broccoli sprouts that you could easily add to any salad. Okay, so how much to eat? You only need 1 serving a day to get the full benefits of this, this group. Okay, so ½ cup of chopped, a 1/4 cup of Brussels, or 1 tablespoon of horseradish. So why eat crucifers? It would be hard for me to say too many good things about crucifers. These vegetables do wonders for your health, from fighting cancer progression and boosting defense against pathogens and pollutants to help protect your brain and vision and more. And you can use this family of veggies as an excuse to play mad scientist in the kitchen, manipulating enzyme chemistry to maximize the health benefits. That's a bit corny and a little sciencey for a lot of you, but in other words, it's an amazing, amazing vegetable. Try to get it in your daily routine as much as you can. The more, the better. Okay, greens. Popeye was right when he bragged that he was strong to the finish because he ate spinach. Dark, leafy vegetables are the healthiest food on the planet. As whole foods go, they offer the most nutrition per calorie. Eating green nearly every day may be one of the most powerful steps you can take to prolong your life. Greens, of all the food groups, turn out to be associated with the strongest protection against major chronic diseases, including up to 20% reduction in risk for both heart attacks and strokes for every additional daily serving. Imagine if there were a pill that could prolong your life and only had good side effects. Everyone would be taking it. It would be making billions of dollars for the luck drug company that created it. All health plans by law would have to cover it. People from every walk of life and every corner of the globe would be clamoring for it. But when that pill is just eat your greens, people lose interest. Decades ago, a search began for interceptor molecules that could serve as the body's first line of defense against cancer. The theory was that if we could find something that could tightly bind to the carcinogens and prevent them from slipping into our DNA, we might be able to prevent some of the mutations that lead to cancer. After years of combing for the existence of such carcinogen-binding molecules, an interceptor was found: chlorophyll, the most ubiquitous plant pigment in the world. And that's what makes greens so powerful. What's also amazing is the combination of chlorophyll and sunlight, just going outside for 20 minutes, helps regenerate one of the most important antioxidants in our body, coenzyme Q10. Chlorophyll, unfortunately, only stays in your body for so long, which is why you constantly need to be consuming chlorophyll-packed greens and getting healthy exposure to sunlight on a daily basis. So greens can taste delicious, okay? By adding a sweet component like dressing or fruit, it can mask the bitterness of the greens. It'll also help aid in changing your palate for the bitter greens over time. It only takes 10 times you eat to eat a food for you to be accustomed to the taste. You can acclimate yourself to the taste. So some really great ideas to sweeten up the bitterness. Balsamic vinaigrettes are actually sweet. You can make some chia seed. I like a chia seed vinaigrette with some honey and some vinegar. You can add some fresh fruit to get your fruit serving. Grapes, figs, and apples are actually really, really great with greens. And like I said, over time, you'll be able to change your palate for the bitter greens, and you won't actually require to add that sweetness over time. Another great way is smoothies. I personally think this is a great way to introduce greens to your children if that's something that you're interested in. It's a great way to mask those greens by adding all of the bananas and the fruit to the smoothies as well. Oops. Okay, so most of these leafy greens nutrients are fat soluble. So you have beta carotene, lutein, vitamin K, and zeaxanthin. So pairing them with a fat will maximize nutrient absorption. Nuts, seeds, nut and seed butters, and avocado are great options for salads. Some ideas are a tahini-based dressing, so sunflower seed butter, or maybe walnuts in your spinach pesto, or sprinkling some toasted sesame seeds on your sauteed kale. Also, adding avocado to your salad may triple the amount of fat-soluble nutrients that make it into your bloodstream. And it doesn't take much, just 3 grams. That's 1 walnut or a spoonful of avocado. So to continue, other ways that you can remove the bitterness is to blanch and boil them. But when doing this, some of the healthy compounds get leached into the water. With soups, this is fine because you're going to be consuming the liquid anyways. But if the water is going to be poured off, you may be losing about half of the nutrition. So what I would recommend if you decide to blanch or boil the greens, just eat double the amount. So eat 2 times the amount than you would normally. And then problem solved, you get your daily serving. So really try to eat greens at every single meal. Just top anything you have on your dish with some greens to get that extra benefit from everything. I really like to massage kale with lemon, flavored vinegars, and then season it however you want to really enhance the flavor. And the lemon actually breaks down those bitter enzymes, so it'll taste a lot better. Just get greens every single day, no matter what, to reap the benefits. Excuse me. So how much to eat? 2 servings a day, that's it. Just 1 cup raw or half cups cooked. So summary, why eat greens? Dark leafy greens is one of the most powerful ways to prolong your life. They fight and prevent cancer cells from developing and reduce your chances for stroke and heart attacks. Don't forget about the amazing antioxidant power that comes from combining chlorophyll and a bit of sunlight. You simply cannot do better in nutrition per calorie. Whether you sneak it in a refreshing smoothie, incorporate them into a sauce or a dressing, use them as a base for a main dish, or eat them straight in a big, vibrant salad, just do it. Your body will thank you with every bite of greens you take. Okay, moving on. So other vegetables. So anything other than greens and crucifers, we have artichokes, asparagus, beets, bell peppers, carrots, corn, garlic, mushrooms, okra, snap peas, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, zucchini. So perhaps the least controversial advice in all of nutrition is to eat more fruits and vegetables, which is to say eat more plants, since the term vegetable basically just means eat all parts of the plant that aren't fruit. So you not only need to eat the rainbow, but you need to eat different parts of the plant because, excuse me, different parts of the plant carry different nutrient compounds. So it is important to eat the entire plant, not just the flower. For instance, beetroots are just as important to eat as the beetroot itself. I'm sorry, beetroot leaves. So make sure you eat the beetroot leaves. You can cut them up and add them to your salad. Carrot stems, same thing. Each fruit and veggie has its own special nutrients that work for different parts of the body. Certain phytonutrients in vegetables bind to specific receptors and other proteins in the body. These specific proteins may not be activated unless you eat that specific food that activates them. Different plants may also affect the same body part in different ways, which is why it is important to eat a variety of foods in a variety of ways. Okay, so we've all heard of that proverbial golden glow associated with health, vitality, and youth. But instead of using a tanning bed to achieve your more golden hue, you can do it with a bed of greens. Eating that yellow and red pigments in fruit and vegetables like beta-carotene in sweet potatoes and lycopene in tomatoes, men and women may be able to naturally acquire more of a golden rosy glow. The healthier you eat, the healthier you look, okay? Research has also found that the higher intake of green and yellow vegetables was associated with a decrease in facial wrinkling. Now, I'm not about eating healthy food just for vanity, but nobody wants to look older than their age. Oops. Although looking great on the outside is fine, looking great on the inside, in my opinion, is even better. Now we'll talk about mushrooms. Okay, so ergothioneine is an amino acid. There is a transporter specifically for this amino acid. But what does this amino acid do in the body? It appears to repair our energy cells called our mitochondria. It is the only amino acid actually that is able to penetrate this little mitochondria and repair damage that has been done. This is really awesome because most antioxidants are not able to penetrate the mitochondria to repair it. It has more than one role, however. It is also concentrated heavily in the areas of body that receive the most oxidative damage. So the liver and the eyes are just a couple of examples. It has been shown to protect these cells from further damage. So mushrooms have the highest level of this amino acid. Mushrooms have 9 times more ergothioneine than those closest competitor, which is black beans. And what's great is that it's heat stable. So it does not get destroyed with cooking. This is great because it's not recommended to eat mushrooms raw because the toxin in edible mushrooms is called agaritine. Cooking and freezing wipes out this toxin, thankfully, so make sure you cook your mushrooms prior to consuming them. Okay, so let's talk about some more awesome ways to eat your veggies and get those servings in. You can just take raw bell peppers, carrots, or snap peas and dip them in a hummus or a bean dip. You can actually roast your veggies just like you can your crucifers, so your bell peppers, your Brussels sprouts, beets, and squash. Have you ever heard of sweet potato toast? It's delicious. If you want to try to eat less bread, sweet potato toast is really, really good. If you want some ideas on sweet potato toast, message me and I would love to help you out with that. If you have some picky eaters in your house, here are some really, really awesome ideas for getting them to eat their veggies. I actually have 2 picky eaters in the house, so I can familiarize myself with this. Pair the veggie with something that they absolutely love. So celery and peanut butter, carrots and hummus is a really good idea. I often make veggie meatballs where I kind of just mix the meat in with the veggies. Also, something super popular in my household is I call vegetables by a different name. So my son is actually really into superheroes right now. So I like to associate the vegetables with some superpower. So X-ray vision carrots, super speedy spinach, Green Hulk kale, and tiny tasty treetops for broccoli. You can also do the hide the veggie strategy, but I really like to be honest with my kids and let them know exactly what's in that food so that they can associate it later and realize that they do actually love those vegetables. But you can puree veggies into a pasta sauce. This is one of my favorite things to do. And like I said, veggie meatballs is a great idea. Veggie breakfast muffins is a really, really delicious idea. It's masked with the applesauce and the dates and whatever. Bananas are actually pretty common to use in breakfast muffins. And then butternut squash mac and cheese is so good in my opinion, okay? So how does cooking affect nutrition? There are actually some vegetables that are more nutritious and you better absorb the nutrients after cooking. So carrots, for instance, you absorb 6 times more vitamin A after cooking. Tomatoes, once cooked, actually helps you absorb lycopene better. Celery, you gain more antioxidant power after cooking. And then green beans are actually not affected unless you do boiling or pressure cooking. Okay, some veggies that are super sensitive, so be aware, are bell peppers. You lose about 97% of their nutrients once cooked, so I would recommend eating these raw if possible. But veggies that are least affected by any type of cooking are artichokes, beets, and onions. Okay, so how much to eat? 2 servings per day. So serving sizes can be 1 cup raw leafy vegetables, half cup raw or cooked non-leafy vegetables, half cup vegetable juice, or half cup dried mushrooms. Okay, so summary. Why eat other vegetables? So each vegetable has different effect on the different parts of the body and in different ways. So make sure you're eating the whole plant, not just the flower. Okay, it has anti-cancer properties. It helps you with weight management. You can have younger, vital-looking skin with less wrinkles. There's so many ways to cook and enjoy veggies. So experiment to find what your favorite method of cooking is. Just keep trying it until you find a way that you like, because these vegetables are so good for you. And like I said earlier, eat the rainbow and eat the entire plant. Okay, flax seeds. So flax seeds must be pretty special to be in a group all by itself. That's because it is. In fact, this wondrous seed offers a miraculous defense against some critical maladies. It is so easy to include in your diet every day because it is cheap and can be used in a variety of ways in your daily nutrition. Okay, so why is flaxseed so super? Okay, one, it reduces blood pressure naturally. So studies have shown that it drops systolic and diastolic blood pressure by up to 15 and 7 points. Let's compare that to the anti-hypertension drugs that are on the market. So you have calcium channel blockers, which reduce your blood pressure 8 and 3 points. And then you have your ACE inhibitors, which reduce blood pressure by 5 and 2 points. Geez, if you look at those, it works 2 to 3 times better than those medicines and without any side effects. I'll take flaxseed over medication any day. Not only that, but flaxseed is also has anti-cancer properties for prostate and breast cancer specifically. It helps control cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood sugar levels. It reduces inflammation, and it helps treat constipation. So, what are some ways to enjoy flax seeds? Flax seeds is actually not beneficial in its whole form. It has a protective enzymes that need to be broken down in order to and in order to do that, you must grind up the seed to make it into a flour. Okay, I would not recommend purchasing ground flaxseed, however, because you do not know how long it's been ground. The ground flaxseed actually starts to lose its nutritional value after about 3 months of shelf life. So in order to make sure you get the most out of your flaxseed, I would recommend purchasing whole flaxseed and grinding it up before you consume them. Okay. There are a lot of fruit and nut bars on the market that include flaxseed because it's a binder in it. Check them out. See if you find one that you like. There are a lot of fruit and nut bars that are super healthy that are on the market. One of the easiest way, in my opinion, is including it in your smoothies. That's how I take it. I just put a spoonful of whole flax seeds in my smoothies and grind that up first. And then I add everything else to the smoothie to make my daily smoothie. I take it every single day without even thinking about it. And I've already gotten my daily serving right as soon as I get up. Okay. Another really awesome and easy way is flaxseed crackers. Simply mix 2 cups of ground flaxseed with 1 cup of water. Add whatever herbs and spices you want. You roll out the dough and spread it evenly on parchment paper or silicone sheet. Score the dough into 32 crackers and bake at 400 for about 20 minutes. Each cracker actually meets your daily serving of flaxseed. So there you go. It's also great to use as a replacement of eggs. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed with 3 tablespoons of water equals 1 egg for baking. It's also great at binding and thickening recipes. You can use it when you're trying to bind like meatballs or a meatloaf without using eggs. It's also a great replacement for cornstarch. So how much to eat? Daily recommendation is 1 serving per day. That's the serving size is 1 tablespoon ground. Okay, so why eat flax seeds? Man, it never ceases to amaze me how these little tiny seeds can pack such a health promoting punch with just a measly tablespoon a day and so many delicious, easy ways to incorporate ground flaxseed into your daily routine. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to check this off of your list daily. Okay, so nuts and seeds. Everybody loves nuts and seeds for the most part. You have your almonds, Brazil nuts, cashews, chia seeds, pine nuts, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, walnuts. It's a super easy way to not only get your good fats and other nutrition, but it's actually been shown to extend your life by a few years by just one handful of nuts a day. That's a quarter cup 5 or more times a week. You can extend your life. So there are actually lots of ways to get your daily serving of nuts and seeds. One of my favorite is by creating sauces for pasta dishes, making dips for veggies or dressings for my salad. As you can see here on the side here, this is actually a tahini-based green goddess dressing. Oh my God, I make it all the time. At least once a week, I make this tahini-based dressing. It's so good. But you can actually use cashews to make cheese sauces. So the mac and cheese you can make with cashews. There's also a really awesome Alfredo sauce that you can make with cashews. Cashews is actually really awesome to use as a thickener for your soups as well. And then you can also add them to smoothies. So along with my flaxseed, I add a tablespoon of almond butter every day to my smoothie. So also don't forget, remember when I talked about how fats can help the absorption of some vitamins from your greens? So don't forget that adding nuts to your salads can increase your vitamin availability in your body. So dress it up with nuts and seeds, okay? Take advantage. Eat it all. Okay, so which nut is the healthiest? Normally, my answer is whichever you're most willing and able to eat regularly. But walnuts really do seem to take the lead. They have almost the highest antioxidant and omega-3 levels. They beat out other nuts in vitro in suppressing cancer cell growth as well. So also some other fun facts about some nuts. Peanuts are actually not a nut. They're a legume or a bean. They've actually been shown to prevent breast cancer. So don't leave out those peanuts. A lot of people like to pick out the peanuts in the trail mix, but peanuts are actually super beneficial for your health as well. Okay. So let's talk about nuts and obesity. They're really, really high in calories, but why don't you actually gain weight? There's some theories to talk about why you don't actually gain weight when you're consuming nuts. So the first theory is actually called the pistachio principle. And basically that talks about how it takes more energy to consume the nut by deshelling and chewing. And also it takes more energy to digest due to its outer shell and tough exterior. Another theory is called the fecal excretion theory. Many of the cell walls of the chewed nuts remain intact in the gastrointestinal tract. In other words, it is possible that some of the calories in the nuts just never get digested and wind up in your waist because you didn't chew them well enough. Finally, the last theory of why you don't really gain weight from eating too many nuts is they're so satiating and good at suppressing your appetite that you end up eating less food overall. Okay, that's called the dietary compensation theory. So how much to eat? Very little, actually. One serving a day. You only need a quarter of a cup per day or 2 tablespoons of nut or seed butter. I very much get plenty of nuts daily. It's so easy to get your daily serving in. And like I said at the beginning, just a handful of nuts will prolong your life for 2 to 3 years by eating it 4 to 5 times per week. It may help you lose weight. It's really high in good fats and antioxidants. It's great as a salad dressing, pasta sauce, and even better as a veggie dipping sauce. Okay, moving right along, we are on the home stretch, you guys. Just a few more categories. So just as many of the plant pigments are beneficial, many of the flavor compounds in herbs and spices are powerful antioxidants as well. Guess where the antioxidants rosmarinic acid is found? What about humanol? What about thymol or gingerols? The flavors are the antioxidants. You can use this knowledge to help you make decisions at the grocery store. You can see that red onions have more antioxidants than white, and you can taste that regular onions have more antioxidants than mellower, milder Vidalia type onions. The bitter and pungent compounds in Cruciferous and Allium families are thought to be responsible for their health benefits. Intense colors and intense flavors can be signs of intense benefits. For optimum health, you should try to eat both colorful and flavorful foods. So when I talk about herbs and spices, I'm going to specifically point out one herb that I recommend taking every single day, okay? And that's turmeric, okay? So this spice is both colorful and flavorful. And in recent years, more than 5,000 articles have been published in the medical literature about curcumin, the pigment in turmeric that gives it that bright yellow color. We have come to learn that curcumin may play a role in preventing or treating lung cancer, brain disease, and a variety of cancers, including multiple myeloma, colon cancer, and pancreatic cancer. But curcumin has also been shown to help speed recovery after surgery and effectively treat rheumatoid arthritis better than the leading drug of choice. It may also be effective in treating osteoarthritis and other inflammatory conditions such as lupus and inflammatory bowel disease. Holy cow. Does that convince you that you need to include turmeric in your daily routine? If so, your next questions need to be, how much do I eat and how do I eat it and what are the risks? So all you need is a 1/4 teaspoon daily of this ground turmeric that you see in this picture. There's other ways to eat ground turmeric. This is the turmeric root. If you're gonna eat that raw like that, all you need is a 1/4 of an inch for daily servings. Indian and Moroccan cuisines have a lot of turmeric in it. That's probably why they look so healthy. My favorite way to get turmeric in is golden milk. Here's my list of ingredients that I put in my golden milk every single day. 1/2 cup of raw cashews, 1 cup of water. You have turmeric, cinnamon, black powder, and honey. I just blend that up until it's nice and frothy, and it's kind of like a turmeric latte. It's delicious, okay? So be careful, those who are suffering from gallbladder cancer or those who are suffering from kidney stones should stay away from turmeric. It has been shown to cause some intense pain when using turmeric because of its anti-inflammatory benefits. Okie dokie. So who knew that these herbs and spices you've been tossing into sauces and sprinkling onto dishes could have such an impact on your health? So work your creativity in the kitchen and spice up your meals as much as you can to not only make them more flavorful, but also more helpful. But don't forget about that 1/4 teaspoon of daily turmeric. I am sufficiently convinced by the available body of evidence to single turmeric out as something that everyone should add to his or her daily diet. Okay? Okay, whole grains. Let's talk about whole grains for a little bit. So let's first talk about gluten because there is a lot of stuff out there about gluten. You've probably heard about the autoimmune disorder called celiac disease. Celiac disease is actually relatively rare. though affecting less than 1% of the population. So the other 99% of people are okay with gluten, I promise. So what is gluten anyways? Gluten is a group of proteins found in certain grains, including wheat, rye, and barley. But what most people don't know is that gluten is actually beneficial to your gut, and it boosts your immune function. Those same fructans that are supposedly causing people gastrointestinal problems are the same proteins that feed your good bacteria in your gut, which can boost your immune function. Less than a week of added gluten protein may significantly increase natural killer cell activity, which would be expected to improve the body's ability to fight cancer and viral infection. In the people who claimed that they were allergic to gluten, they were found to not even have gluten sensitivity, but instead had other conditions like an overgrowth of bacteria in their small intestines, were either fructose or lactose intolerant, or had a neuromuscular disorder like gastroparesis or pelvic floor disorder. So they didn't even have celiac disease like they wanted, and they didn't have an allergic reaction to gluten. So gluten gets a bad rap. It's actually really good for your gut. So let's make sure when you're talking about whole grains to expand your whole grain horizon. Just like we've been talking about with a variety of fruits and vegetables, you need to have a variety of whole grains in your diet as well. So not just swapping white bread for whole wheat or white rice for brown, okay? There are so many different types of grains out there. The most popular ones that you've probably heard of are quinoa, wild rice, amaranth, millet, farro, rye, and teff. But there's so many types of whole grains. So when you get a chance, I highly recommend you try to include as many different whole grains in your diet as possible, okay? Like I said, just like plants, you must get a wide variety of grains in your diet. The bigger the variety, the better your gut bacteria. Okay, oatmeal, of course, is the classic whole grain breakfast. Just as cruciferous veggies and flax seeds harbor beneficial compounds found in abundance nowhere else, oats contain a unique class of anti-inflammatory compounds called avenanthramides. They are thought to be responsible in part for the fresh odor and flavor of oats, as well as the ability of oatmeal lotion to relieve skin itching and irritation. A morning oatmeal habit is a great way to kickstart your day. And then there are a variety of quick cooking whole grains that serve as convenient filling ways to fight chronic disease risk all day long. So how much whole grains should you get? 3 servings a day. Okay, that may sound like a lot, but once you look at these servings, it's actually not as hard as you think to get in your 3 servings a day. So you only need a half a cup of hot cereal or cooked grains, pasta, or corn kernels. In my opinion, I could easily get 3 servings of pasta in one dish by itself. So it's not as hard as you think to get your 3 servings in a day. You can do 1 cup of cold cereal. Be sure to watch out for those sugary fake sugars when you try to get cold cereal. You can actually do tortillas or wraps or a slice of bread. I would highly recommend Ezekiel bread. We'll go over what bread to look out for in the next class. So be prepared for that. I'll go in more depth about what to look for bread. Half a bagel or English muffin, or 3 cups of popped popcorn. Okie dokie, we're on the home stretch. We have 2 more categories to go. So beverages. So gosh, there are so many types of teas that you could take advantage of, but today I'm going to be talking about water. So Hippocrates, here he is again, said more than 2,000 years ago If we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. Water is the healthiest beverage to drink, period, end. But how much is too much and how much is too little? A high intake of water, say 8 cups a day, may reduce the risk of bladder cancer by about 50%, potentially saving thousands of lives. But there are so many people that don't drink any water at all, and they think that drinking soda and juice and all these other things is going to be sufficient, but it's not. So you get about 4 cups of water from fruits and veggies you eat daily and the water that your body produces naturally. So that should translate into a daily recommendation of 4 to 7 cups of water for women and 6 to 11 cups for men. This will fluctuate depending on the daily physical exercise and the ambient temperature, meaning how much you're sweating pretty much where you live. So if you live in Arizona, you're going to probably sweat a lot more. And then it also depends on your body, because some people sweat more than others throughout the day. Okay, last but certainly not least, more than 2/3 of Americans are overweight. Think about that. Fewer than 1 in 3 people maintain a healthy weight. What's more, by 2030, more than half of the country's population may be clinically obese. Over the last 3 decades, childhood obesity has tripled, and most overweight kids will continue to be overweight in adulthood. We may be in the process of raising the first generation of children in America with a shorter predicted lifespan than their parents. The food industry likes to blame inactivity as the prime cause of obesity, not the promotion of and consumption of their calorie-rich products, of course. On the contrary, however, research suggests that the level of physical activity may have actually increased in the US over the past few decades. We know that obesity is rising even in areas where people are exercising more. This likely explains by the fact that eating activity levels are outstrapping physical activity levels. Nutrition is, in my opinion, most important when it comes to health. However, getting daily exercise in every day is also a very important piece of the puzzle that needs to be fulfilled on a daily basis. It is good for your heart, the function of your arteries, your lungs, your brain, your muscular system, and especially for your skeletal system. Every part of your body benefits from exercise. It has even been shown to increase your energy and put you in a better mood, and increases your ability to handle stress. But how much exercise is suitable? The daily recommendation for exercise is 90 minutes of moderate intensity activity or 40 minutes of vigorous activity. So what constitutes moderate intensity activities? You have bicycling, canoeing, roller skating, yard work, I'm pretty sure they're just treading water there. Hiking, just playing in the pool, yoga, just walking briskly, dancing, and snorkeling. These are just a few. There's also dodgeball, downhill skiing, fencing. You can do housework. Housework is great at burning those calories. Ice skating, inline skating, juggling, jumping on a trampoline, playing frisbee, shooting hoops, shoveling light snow, skateboarding, tennis, treading water, and water skiing. So these are moderate intensity. So you need to be doing this at least 90 minutes every day. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be all at once. It can be accumulative. Go for a 20-minute walk in the morning, 20-minute walk at lunch, 20-minute walk in the evening, and maybe Maybe you do some yoga before you go to bed, just to accumulate 90 minutes a day of some kind of activity like this. So what about vigorous activities? Playing basketball, bicycling uphill. So the intensity is a little bit more. Jumping rope. You have cross-country skiing, running or jogging. You have your weightlifting, step aerobics, rock climbing. That's one of my favorites. Here's lacrosse here. You have swimming laps. And then walking uphill, walking or running uphill. You can also take part in playing football, hockey, doing some jumping jacks, push-ups and pull-ups, playing racquetball, rugby, scuba diving, tennis, soccer, speed skating, squash, water jogging. There are so many fun activities that you could do to make exercise fun. Just do something every single day. And for vigorous activities, if this is what you decide to do, it needs to be a cumulative of 40 minutes a day. Okay, so let's summarize. We went over the 12 things that you need to include in your routine every single day in order to feel your best and live your best life. Okay, so you need 2 servings of beans. Oh, that should be 3. That should be 3 servings of beans. 1 servings of berries, 2 servings of other fruit, 1 serving of cruciferous vegetables, 3 servings of greens, 2 servings of other vegetables, 1 serving of flaxseed, 1 serving of nuts, 1 serving of turmeric specifically, 3 servings of whole grain, 5 servings of beverages, and then 1 serving of exercise every single day. So my goal is to give you the information to empower and inspire you to make healthy choices in your life. But in the end, it's all up to you. A long and healthy life is largely a matter of choice. You have tremendous power over your health destiny. The vast majority of premature deaths can be prevented, with simple changes in what you eat and how you live. With that being said, that's your daily dozen. Let's go ahead and take it a step further. If you guys really want to learn more about the information that I was talking about today, I highly recommend this book, How Not to Die by Michael Greger. Also, I wanted to recommend downloading the app Daily Dozen. It's an easy way for you to track your daily servings of the groups that I just went over, okay? And you can just check mark it every single day. On this app, he actually recommends you also take a B12 vitamin. Everybody, including those that eat meat, should take a B12 vitamin. I highly recommend it. Let me know if you want recommendations on which vitamin I take and recommend for other people. But yeah, I recommend you do these 2 things. If you're really, really interested on diving into feeling better and living your best life, excuse me, I highly recommend reading this book and also downloading this app so that you can keep track of all the food that you intake on a daily basis. Once again, this is Natalie Brown with Synergy Nutrition and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you took a lot of really awesome and interesting information about the food you eat here.